Hey, what's up guys, it's DarkArmedDuelist, and today I'm going to be doing a Hieratic Dragon deck profile. So I'm really excited for this one because Hieratics are a really fun deck to play around with that basically tribute your dragon monsters on your side of the field to be able to special summon normal dragon monsters from your hand, deck, or grave to be able to use as XYZ material or link material to be able to make all sorts of different resources on your side of the field to be able to OTK your opponent. So without further ado guys, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell on there so you can become part of the notification squad, and let's get straight on into this. So this is a super cool deck that is just really fun to play around with. So first off, we're going to be playing 3 copies of Hieratic Dragon of Tefnuit. Basically, you can just special summon this card from your hand like Cyber Dragon. If your opponent controls no monsters, or if your opponent controls a monster and you don't, you special summon this card from your hand. And then if it's tributed, you can special summon a dragon normal monster from your hand, deck, or grave, but make its attack 0. Attack and defense 0. 3 copies of Hieratic Dragon Sue. Hieratic Dragon Sue's effect is that when you can special summon this card from your hand by tributing a Hieratic Dragon monster, and then when you tribute the Hieratic Dragon monster to special summon this card, you can also tribute a Hieratic monster except another copy of itself to target a spell or trap card your opponent controls and then destroy that card. And then when this card is tribute summoned or tributed, you can target a dragon monster or special summon a dragon monster that's a normal monster from your hand, deck, or grave and reduce its attack and defense to 0. 2 copies of Hieratic Dragon Nebthit. Nebthit is really good, but it's kind of like the same thing as Sue, but it pops monsters. It's kind of a little bit of an awkward card because it's a level 5, so it's a little, like I said, awkward because you can special summon this card by tributing a Hieratic Dragon monster on your side of the field, and then when you do tribute summon this card, you can tribute another monster to target a monster your opponent controls and destroy that. And if it's tributed, you can special summon a normal monster from your deck, hand, deck, or grave that has 0/0 or you make it 0/0, which is pretty cool. 3 copies of Eset. Eset is really good in the deck because basically what Eset does is that you tribute you normal summon this card and it comes out at 1000 without tributing, and then you can target a normal monster, a normal dragon type monster on your side of the field and make all Hieratic monsters on your side of the field become that level, which can be really beneficial to be able to just reduce them all down to that particular level because you can just get so many different plays off of that reduction, because you're just going to reduce them down to, let's say reduce them down or increase them all the way up to, like, I don't know, 8 to be able to overlay into all sorts of different stuff. So it's a really good card to be able to kind of level manipulate your monsters. Then for the last 3 Hieratics, we play 3 copies of Gabeb. I play 3 copies of Gabeb because I'm not playing the Guard Dragon-ish engine in this deck. I am playing Guard Dragon in here, but since Agarpain got banned, the Guard Dragon version of this deck is kind of not quite as good. So this is another option that you can play instead of Newt. Basically what this card does is that you can, when it's tributed, you can special summon a Hieratic monster that's a normal monster from your hand, deck, or grave with 0 attack and 0 defense. And then also, when this card destroys an opponent's monster of battle and sends it to the graveyard, you can special summon a dragon type monster that's a normal monster from your hand, deck, or grave and make its attack and defense 0/0. So that's really good because you can get those additional monsters on the field. Then we play 3 copies of Destrudo. Destrudo just kind of gives us the extra advantage to be able to put monsters on the field for link material. It is a tuner. You can play synchro monsters in here if you want to a little bit, but you really don't have to. But it is optional if you want to play some synchro monsters in here. It opens up the possibilities. Then we play 2 copies of Dragard. I play 2 copies of Dragard because when it's normal summon, you can target a normal dragon monster with 1000 or less attack in your grave and special summon that monster in face-up a defense position. And then once per turn, you can tribute a dragon type monster, then target a face-up monster your opponent, or one monster you control until the end phase of turns, the level becomes 8, and if it does, it gains 800 attack. Which usually what you're going to want to do is normal summon this card, special summon the dragon from the graveyard, and then activate Dragard's effect to increase its attack, or increase its level and attack up to 8 and 2100 to be able to, get that additional level 8 monster on the field to overlay into something. Then we play a white dragon and a black dragon because they are really good in this deck and they do give you that extra advantage. to have extra monsters on the field. And then I play a single copy of Diabolos, because every time a monster is tributed, you just special summon the Diabolos. So it's a really good card to just put on board. One copy of Red MD. Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon is really good because it's a dragon deck. You just get to special summon dragons eternally with this card, and it's just such a good card to play as a one of. And then for the normal monsters, we play 2 copies of Hieratic, Seal of the Sun Dragon Overlord, because it works with Gebeb, is why I play it at 2. And plus, I'm going for the rank 8 build. I kind of wanted to show you guys what a normal, like a pure-ish version of this deck would look like, so I kind of built it this way. And then 1 copy of Labradorite Dragon as well, because you want to be able to go into the Hieratic, the Atum. You want to be able to go into Atum, so you play the Labradorite Dragon here as well. So that's it for the monsters, guys. Let's get into the spells. So for the spells, we're going to be playing 1 copy of Monster Reborn, because Monster Reborn's a really good card in this deck to be able to revive stuff. Now, my own personal tech card that I'm playing in here is 2 copies of the Claw of Hermos. I know this is kind of wacky, but it's really good to be able to OTK your opponent. You can actually make a card called Red Eyes Black Dragon Sword, and the effect of Red Eyes Black Dragon Sword lets the monster that you can basically with this card is it takes a dragon type monster. You activate Claw of Hermos, send a dragon to the grave, and then special summon Red Eyes Black Dragon Sword to your side of the field. And then it also has the effect that if this card is special summoned, you get to target another face-up monster on your field and equip this card to it, and it gains 1,000 attack and 500 attack for every dragon monster on the field and in the graveyard. So you're already going to gain 1,500 off of that boost. So basically it makes one of your dragons really, really big. Especially equipping it to a Boral Sword is overkill, but it's fun. 3 copies of Monster Gate, because every time one of your Hieratics is tributed, they special summon a monster. It doesn't matter how they're tributed, it just matters that they're tributed. And this card can get you a lot of monster advantage to be able to put cards on the field. 3 copies of Hieratic Dragon Seal of Convocation. Convocation basically is a Rhoda for the deck. It lets you add any Hieratic from your deck to your hand, which is really good. 3 copies of Super Rejuvenation, which just recently came to 3. This card has let me draw up to 4 or 5 cards during my end phase, because every time a dragon-type monster is tributed during the turn that this card is activated, then you get to draw a card during that end phase, which is really good to be able to draw multiple cards. Then we get play 3 copies of Call by the Grave. Call by the Grave is just really good because it banishes stuff that you just don't want to deal with hand traps. So we play it as a 3 of, just so we don't have to deal with hand traps in this deck. So that's it for the main deck, guys. Let's get into the extra deck. So for the extra deck, we're going to be playing 2 copies of Hieratic Dragon, or Hieratic Seal of the Heavenly Spheres. Heavenly Spheres is the MVP of this deck. Basically, you make this card, and then while it's in your extra monster zone, your opponent, during your opponent's turn, you can tribute it, or tribute another dragon monster you control from your hand or field, and then return a face-up card on the field to the hand. And if this card is tributed, you get to special summon a dragon-type monster in your hand or deck, but make its attack event 0, and you can only use its effect once per turn. But it's a really good card to put on the field to be able to just either A, tribute it on your opponent's turn, to be able to put a Red MD on the field to get it out of the deck if you know you can like outlast them, or keep it on your field and your opponent doesn't get rid of it, and during your turn you tribute this and put a Red MD on the field. So it's really good for getting Red MD out and being able to go into all sorts of different plays. I play a single copy of Galaxy Satellite Dragon. It's really easy to put this on field because everything we play is a dragon. And it's just a good card because during the battle phase, you can banish this card from your field and or graveyard, and then target a number XYZ monster you control whose original type and level are light and dragon until the end phase of the until the end of the battle phase. Its attack and defense becomes equal to the value of its number times 100. So basically, you can summon a copy of 107 and make its attack 10,700, which is crazy. And then it also has the ability that any battle damage your opponent takes from that battle is halved while that monster is battling. But still putting a 10,700 monster on board is great. I do play the Guard Dragons in here, which is a Guard Dragon, Pisty, and LP. They're good for Red MD. I don't play them that much in this deck, but they're kind of optional. If you want to put them in here, you can. But they're kind of weird because they take level 4 lower dragons, and I don't play that many level 4 lower dragons. I just play the 3 Gebebs, the 2 Dragguards, and the white and black dragon, so it's kind of weird because it kind of conflicts with what I'm trying to do. One copy of Boil Sword. Boil Sword's really good in this deck, and it's really easy to make. Star Eater, surprisingly enough, comes out in this deck a lot with Labradorite Dragon and a copy of Eset. This card is really easy to summon and is basically like Armedis. When you're battle with this card, it can't be they can't activate cards or effects when it battles, and then it's also affected by other card effects until the end of the damage step, and then it can't be negated. Monster must be synchro summoned and cannot be special summoned by other ways, and this synchro summons card cannot be negated. So it's really good to be able to just put this on board because you guaranteed a 3200 beat stick that they can't activate anything when it battles. Hieratic Dragon, King of Atum. King of Atum is really easy to put on board, and it helps you get Red MD out on the field. I make this quite frequently in the deck. One copy of Heliopolis. Heliopolis is so good in this deck because you can use this in tandem with Super Rejuvenation and draw so many cards and like destroy your opponent's card advantage and draw cards on your side of turn, and then put normal monsters on your side of the field really easily, because if you tribute Hieratic monsters to activate this effect, you're going to get so many monsters on the field. It's ridiculous. At least 2, because you're going to get another Labradorite Dragon and one of your seals that you detach for its effect. One copy of Divine Dragon Knight, Felgrand. Felgrand is really good in here because it just negates stuff, or it just protects stuff. 38 to negate spells, and then I play a number 97 because it's easy to make in here and be able to make the C107. 107 because it's, again, really easy to make in this deck, and with the Satellite Dragon, number C107 because you can make 97 and then make these two and make this really big. And then Red Eyes Black Dragon Sword, because if you can make this and then or make a link monster like a previous turn and have them both pointing down, make this and then detach the materials and make this, and then have a Hermos and put this on the field and equip it to this, it's over with. Like, if you can get this and this on the field, it's game. And you can do it pretty easily in this deck. So that's it for the deck, guys. I hope you enjoyed this one. It's a really fun deck to play around with. I really recommend that you guys give it a shot. It's pretty budget too, to be honest. Like, the Hieratics are like not that expensive because the majority of them were printed as commons or rares, and the extra deck is not super expensive either, except for maybe Boil Sword. Like, the most expensive thing in the extra deck I think is like $10, and everything else is not that expensive. The Hieratic Spheres maybe 8-ish, but it's not that bad. So anyways, guys, this is Dark Armed Duels. Don't forget to tell me what you think of this video down in the comments down below. Hit the bell there so you can become part of the notification squad, and I'll see you guys in the next video. See you around, guys.